When I go to a country, I want to be able to speak the language. Both Explore and Odyssey have changed me as a person and have shaped me as a professional. If you're really committed to learning either French or English, this program is made for you. It's an amazing opportunity to, one, visit Canada for almost nothing, for almost free, and to get to meet new people as you're learning or developing your French or English skills. My first year, I went to Newfoundland and they took me whale watching. I still cannot believe that they took me whale watching. And the reason why we're offering you these kinds of opportunities is because it's offered in your target language, being part of such a beautiful organization as the OLPs.
Another episode of the Speak Real podcast, sharing one-on-one conversations. We believe that storytelling is the best way to empower youth and give them the platform to find their voices.
Presented by YouthSpeak. Youth experience, youth voice, youth empowered.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouthSpeak podcast. First of all, we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, TD Bank Group, for sponsoring our podcast and our IG Lives, which make this possible. So today with me, I have Pamela from the OLP, which is the Official Languages Program, to speak to us about the program and the organization itself. So, Pamela, welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell me a little bit about your professional background?
So my professional background is a little bit complicated because I've been through a lot, but I have a passion for languages, so that's what I studied. I have a college degree in modern languages. I did a bachelor's degree in French language and French culture. And then I moved on to a bachelor's degree of education. So all combined makes me a really good fit for the OLPs.
What kind of got you interested in languages?
I think it's the fact that I was born with two languages. My dad taught me English, my mom taught me French, and I've always been interested in different cultures. So honestly, I love languages, and people are so interesting. So my interest for people and for cultures makes me want to learn about their language. I have a philosophy, as far as I can, when I go to a country, I want to be able to speak the language, especially if I'm going to stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
And Canada has two official languages, French and English. So that's why it's important for me that we put a really good emphasis on both.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. So can you tell me what it means to be a promotions agent at the Official Languages Program?
It's the coolest job. I really like my job. So what we get to do, we get to go to fairs and schools and present the programs, which are the Destination Click program, the Explore program, and the Odyssey program. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to universities most of the time or high schools because our program starts at 13. So, 8th depending on if it's in elementary school, high school, we'll get to do that and just speak our love for languages and speak our love for the OLPs. And I think that's what makes a difference when you have someone who's really passionate about what they're doing and they love it. You just want to engage and immerse yourself and do the program yourself. And on the other side of things, because of course we're not always on the road, we're gonna work on everything that's more on the other side, like treating all the applications. We're gonna follow up emails, answer phone calls for anyone that has questions because we cannot always be at fairs. There's not enough days in a week for that.
So you guys go all across Ontario, or is it like also Canada-wide?
Yes, it's been Canadian. So we have promotion agents in every Canadian province, which is amazing. Ontario and Quebec, we have the biggest teams because we're the two biggest provinces. But you have a promotion agent in Yukon, you have one in the Northwest Territories, you have Alberta, you have BC, everywhere in Canada you can think of. If there's a province that pops up in your mind right now, there's a promotion agent there, and we're all doing the same job. We're all as passionate as one another to do this job, and so that's what makes it easier, and that's the beauty of the program. So if you apply, you want to do, let's say, the Explore program and the Odyssey program, and you apply in Ontario, we're just going to transfer your file to the people. You want to go to BC, you're going to transfer your file to people in BC, and they can treat it and take care of it for you. And we love each other. We're always seeing it. It's fun. Meet people from everywhere in Canada. That's amazing. That's really cool that one job can do that. So, I did my Explore program, my first Explore program back in 2016. Because I think I had a promotion agent come to my if I'm right. And I was told that I could travel for 90% of the fees covered. And I was like, yeah, travel in Canada is really expensive. So why not? So I decided to enroll and I went to Newfoundland. And a couple of years after that, I kind of forgot about it. I love my experience, but I kind of forgot about it because I moved on to university. It was a lot because when you're double majoring, it's a lot of responsibilities. And I was working at a French help center and I found some lanyards with the Odyssey program on it. And I remembered that the OLP existed and I applied for Odyssey. And that's how I did Explore twice. I did Odyssey twice. And now I'm working for the OLPs under the Ministry of Education because I have done this program and because I found a lanyard randomly at the French Help Center when there was no one.
That's an interesting way of coming across the program, you know. But that's really cool that you did both of the Odyssey program and the other program twice. And I guess I was just going to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the experience in the program itself and what that's like?
Yes. If you're really committed to learning the language, learning either French or English, this program is made for you. Of course, you know, since you're going to be immersed fully into the language, if you're not ready to put your 100% to have the best experience, it's going to change something. But the people I've done it with, we all loved it. It's an amazing opportunity to, one, visit Canada for almost nothing, for almost free, and to get to meet new people as you're learning or developing your French or English skills, you know, which is great. My first year, I went to Newfoundland, like I said, and they took me whale watching. I still cannot believe that they took me whale watching. And the reason why we're offering you these kinds of opportunities is because it's offered in your target language. So you're going to speak it anyways. My second year, I went to Alberta and they took me to Banff. And isn't that great? That one program allows you to do such cool activities because it is offered in a language you want to practice, which is great. And in the morning, you have classes that are offered by French teachers who are from the university where you decided to go. So I went to the University of Calgary and I went to MUN, which is the University of Newfoundland. I don't remember exactly what the name is for this one, or in St. John's. And this year I applied for Explore again. I'm going to BC, so maybe UVic or UBC. Hopefully it's gonna work out. I'm gonna get a little funding here. I really hope so. But like I said, like I mentioned, if you're invested, if you love languages, or if you're just really, really motivated to learn either French or develop French or English, this program is made for you because there's no better way to learn a language than to be immersed into the language. And 5 weeks is a decent time to make some really good progress. If you do your work, if you try to speak, if you go out and just meet new people from the place where you are. So best way to do that.
Now, so I kind of want to deviate a little bit because I want to ask, is it only for a certain age group that you can do these programs for? Or like, I guess that's my first question. My second question was, now I've only taken up to grade 9 French and I really want to do this the way you're selling me on this. But can I do it as well if like the only thing I've taken is grade 9 French?
Absolutely, because you got into a placement test. So once you get to the university, well, actually, before you go to the university, we're going to have you do a placement test. And if you're level 0, we're going to put you with the level 0s. If you're fluent, we're going to put you with the fluent people. So, you know, we want you to be able to enjoy your experience 100%. So we don't want you to think that the fact that you don't have a certain level of French or English is going to limit you, because it's not. That's your open door. That was also, the OLPs were my open door to teachers college, actually. So that's great, but we'll come back to that. And the Explore program starts at 13. The minimum age you can do it is 13. We have 2 groups, 13, 15, and then 16 plus. And we also have 18 plus. So you can do it from 13 to 100 years old if you feel like it, as long as you were a student during the school year, or you've been a language assistant during that year. You're eligible, and you need to be either a PR or a Canadian citizen, and then you're good. You're good to have the best summer of your life. I'm telling you, for me, doing it 3 times, being difficult as I am, it's a great program because let me tell you, I was like, I'm going to go, I'll see, and I'll judge. And I did, and I absolutely loved it.
I love your warmth and your enthusiasm. And I
Thank
think it leads right into my next question, which is how do you think the program has really improved your confidence and self-image? I know you were bilingual before, right? Because from birth and stuff, you were able to speak both languages,
Yes.
but like how does it improved everything?
Yes. So I would say the way, I think it's on a deeper level that the Explore program helped me out. The Explore program allowed me to open up to people because as extroverted as I am, you know, sometimes I grew up with books. Obviously, you can tell. I absolutely love books. So books are my best friends. So opening up to people was a little bit harder for me. But once I got to my res, the day I got to the university in Newfoundland at Man, and I got to my res, I just met the nicest people, my roommates, and it just showed me that it was more than just a language learning experience. It was a humane experience. Get to meet new friends. We're still speaking. 2016 was back then. I'm old now. I'm 30. So 2016, I still have friends that I have met that day. We're still speaking. We're still friends to this day. It's been 8 years, which is insane. And I still speak to my monitors, my Explore monitors from 2016 in Newfoundland. We're still friends. So that's my point on Explore. And of course, you, even though you speak a language fluently, I always say there's a difference between speaking a language and writing a language, right? Especially if it's French. French is it's French, right? It's really hard. It's beautiful, but wow, it's so many ways to write the same sound. So that helps a lot too when you do a program like this, because depending on your level, we're going to focus on language, but also a little bit of grammar. I was on the higher levels when I've done it the two times. So you're going to get to read books, also discover new books, maybe your next favorite book. There's a book I bought after my Expo program because it was so good. So if you've never read it, it's the Good Luck Club, I think it's called, the Good Luck Club, something like that. Great book, amazing. And on the Odyssey side, for the Odyssey program, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I applied for this program, I did not want to be a teacher. My mom was like, Pam, you would be great as a teacher. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to handle 25 students in a classroom for the rest of my life. And I did Odyssey, and it changed everything. Everything. I discovered that I loved teaching, that I was really good with interaction with people, adults and kids and teenagers, because teenagers are hard. Once you get them, you're proud of yourself. You know, you get a teenager to listen to you, have fun and smile. You're like, yep, Dundee, that's it. I did my job right. So after that, I applied to Teachers College, and now in my second year of Teachers College, I have straight A's because I have done Odyssey, and I've seen everything, I've heard everything, and I've been through everything. So thank you. I'll take it. On a professional side and on a personal side, both Explore and Odyssey have changed me as a person and have shaped me as a professional. Now, the fact that I'm in Teachers College, I landed my dream job. I work for the OLPs, but I also landed my dream job as an onset teacher because I have done this and I have experience, which I could never have fathomed in my life without being part of such a beautiful organization as the OLPs.
Yeah, no, that's so crazy how this journey has taken you into what you're now passionate about. And I think you kind of just answered my next question that I wanted to ask you, which was what leadership skills that you've gained from OLP. But clearly you've gained a lot of leadership skills, unless is there something else that you want to touch on that you think you've also learned?
I think, you know what? It's something that's really weird. Like I said, I'm an extrovert, but maybe I'm a fake extrovert or whatever, because I dreaded oral presentations. I hated them. And after doing a year of OLP speaking to people in classrooms and at fairs, I love them. I'm like, okay, I'll take the attention I can get. I absolutely love it. And I think it's just a skill that you have to develop. Usually, when you're scared of doing a presentation, you're like, I'm not going to pronounce this right. I'm going to forget what I have to say. But the more you do it, you become just proficient in doing this stuff and this thing. And that's why it has changed my view of our presentations. And I'm more, I'm nicer when it comes to all presentations with my students because I get it. But practice makes perfect, and that was really, really helpful for me because now I can do them no problem. But I could never have done that 2 years ago. Let me tell you that.
We talked about this a little bit, and you went to Newfoundland, you went to Banff and Alberta, you went to you're going to British Columbia now.
Yeah.
What are some of the benefits of traveling to a new part of Canada? Because I think sometimes it can be very nerve-wracking for people. But how did you also cross that obstacle? Because now you're going to an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people and stuff. So maybe what are your thoughts on that? And like, how did you overcome that fear?
Well, what I really liked about the Explore program when I first started it is that it was structured. So I knew I wasn't just jumping, and the lion's den. I knew the only thing I had to do is take a plane from Montreal, get to Newfoundland my first year, and I would be taken care of. So they covered my accommodations, they covered my food, they covered my tuition fees and all my mandatory activities. That's what we offer in the 90% covered for every person who will get a funding from the Explore program. So, and Canada is so diverse. There's so many different cultures and languages in Canada. I wanted to see. And from one side of Canada to the other, everything changes. I had I had never seen so many mountains and greenery and beautiful places in Montreal because Montreal is Montreal. It's super. It's a city. It's a city. Basically, you get to see a lot of buses and a lot of people walking on the streets. But Newfoundland was something different, and just the air was different. So I think that was my main motivation to get to discover our own country because as someone who loves traveling, I want to see other people's countries, of course, but I want to see mine. I know a lot about France. I know a lot about the US. I know a lot about Italy, but what do I know about Canada? Except what I was taught in history classes. Can I see that? Yes, I can because Explore allows me to see it with my own eyes. And yeah, there's a lot of people what we're doing Explore. You have activities that are planned by the monitors, but when you're doing 18 plus, you get to do pretty much whatever you want. And some people plan activities for us. They went to national parks. They took us to another city, and we went to a museum that was really cool, and then a beach. And it's insane that just by being involved and loving the idea of discovering and getting to meet different cultures and tasting different foods, you can come up with anything. You'll find a way to do that. So when you can do that with the OLPs, it's even better.
Oh my God. Listen, I think through this, like the last 20 minutes you've been talking, and I'm just like, I need to go on the site. I need to figure out how I can be a part of this program. Um, and that kind of leads me to our last question, which is, can you tell us about some of the free programs that are available to high school students?
Yes. So for high school students, we have that's going to be for the English side of Canada. For this one, we have Destination Click, which is a program that is offered to 8th graders to 10th graders, allowing them to go to Quebec for 3 weeks. That's also 90% covered. So we pay housing, food, tuition fees, and all the mandatory activities. The only thing they have to pay for are the travel expenses. So how are they going to get to the province? Some people drive, some people take the train, some people just fly. I would say if you're going from Ontario to Quebec, the easiest way and the cheapest option is the train. It's time consuming. It takes from Windsor to Montreal, it's 12 hours, but it's really worth it because it's only like $100. Whereas flying would be crazy expensive, right? And driving, you can drive chill, so it's not that far, especially from Toronto. From Toronto, it's like 6 hours straight. So that's amazing. So that's okay. Like I said, allows you to go to school a school for 3 weeks, and you're gonna stay in res, and you'll get to do some cool French activities in the afternoon with the French monitors, and then in the morning you'll have French classes because we want you to be immersed into the culture. As someone who has learned French either in French immersion, who is registered at a French school, that's the program that's made for them, just to really get a sense of what can I do with this French learning that I'm doing, this French background. Otherwise, for anyone who is 13 to 15, doesn't have to be registered in French immersion or a French school, or 16 plus or 18 plus, there's the Explore program. So Explore is what I did and what I'm going to do again at 30 this summer. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it until I cannot do it anymore because I love it. This time, it's going to be a 5-week immersive program. So Explore, instead of only going to Quebec, you know, the difference with Destination Click, you don't have to go only to Quebec. You can go to, for French, you can do Ontario. You can do, I think, BC. I'm not sure if it's only virtual or in person, but I would have to figure this one out. You can do Quebec, of course. You can do Nova Scotia, and you can do what's the fifth one? I think I had it in mind. I'm sorry. Quebec, Ontario, I think BC, Nova Scotia. I'm forgetting. New Brunswick. That's it. New Brunswick, because New Brunswick is the only official bilingual province of Canada. I don't know if you knew that. Yes, it's the only one. The only one, and the official one, it's bilingual. So let's go, BC. Let's make a difference. I know, not BC, I'm sorry, New Brunswick. Let's go, New Brunswick. Let's make a difference in the world, saving French language in Canada. So that's a 5-week immersive program. Everything covered, again, 90% of the fees. All you have to pay travel expenses and a small registration fee for other programs, which is usually $250 for the best summer of your life. It's worth it. You know, I have done it and I absolutely loved it. After that, what's great about all our programs can be Odyssey, it can be Explore, it can be Destination Click. You get a certificate attesting that you have done the programs. So some universities offer credits towards a degree. So if you're doing a languages degree, a linguistics degree, a French degree, English degree, I did French. So I managed to get, by doing Odyssey twice and by doing Explore twice with my university, because I spoke to the right people, I got 18 university credits, which is insane. Which is insane considering it's so expensive. So I was like, is there a way I can get credits by doing such a fun activity and having the summer of my life and being paid to work with the Odyssey program? And I got to do that. When you speak to the right people and you bring that certificate attesting that you have done your job right, there you go. It's gonna change your life.
That's crazy. I didn't know that you can get university credits for it. And like 18 credits, like that's many thousands of dollars for like a regular student to pay. I want to know, like, with all the stuff that you said, where can people find more information about all of these programs and everything?
Okay, so the easiest way to do it is to go to the website englishfrench.ca. It's going to outline all the 3 programs, Explore, Odyssey, and Destination Click. And then that's also where you can apply. Since we're pan-Canadian, we don't take resumes for Odyssey in person, because someone from Ontario might want to go to Quebec or might want to go to Alberta, might want to go to anywhere in Canada. So we transfer the file. So that's why everything happens online. And I would say that Odyssey is a great experience to do post-Explore. You know, as an Explore alumni, Odyssey is great because now you get to travel again, but now you're paid to do so. Especially as a, you know, when you're done with your degree, being paid at $27 an hour for 25 hours a week of work, I'll take it. I don't know about you, but it pays pretty decent when you have to pay back those loans and bursaries, you know. So EnglishFrench.ca, you can do that. Otherwise, you can always send an email to the promotion agents. We're here for that. We're here to answer all your questions, but to apply, to get all the information, EnglishFrench.ca.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And I'm assuming you guys are on social media as well.
Oh yeah, Facebook, I think Twitter,
Yeah.
X, right?
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram. I think these are the four.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And the handle is OLP PLO.
OLPPL. Okay, perfect. Pamela, thank you so much for being with us today and like sharing your experience and telling us so much more about OLP and the programming you guys have. I think if anyone watches this podcast and the energy that you bring, there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm to come and join. I know I'm definitely going to look at this afterwards. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at YouthSpeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Charity. Speak, inspire, change.